we're going to check your exercise on page 82 and 83. Sorry, no, they're not 82. It's page 100 and page 121. Yeah, so how did you get wrong? Not finish this one. So let's go back to page 1, page 97, page 127. Page 127. What was? So page 97, worldwide, expression with way. So part 1. I think it's way too easy to make that kind of criticism. Way too easy. So both way and to, they are adverbs. Way too easy. It's easy to make that kind of criticism. To use adverb to go attack, which is way too. Question 2, I agree with you all the way on that. This is also an adverb. 它也是一个副词，对不对？为什么是副词 ？I am with you on that， 其实这样就可以了。如果你要强调 how you are with the person， you say all the way. All the way means completely, from the beginning to the end. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So all the way means completely, from the beginning to the end. I'm with you all the way on that. Number 3, you can't have it both ways. Number 4, in a way, it's the same thing as inventing stuff. 这是当做句首，所以它是一个副词片，对不对？副词片修饰整句话的语气。它只是用来修饰语气用的话，因为这是一个完整的句子。It's the same thing as inventing stuff, isn't it? 所以你不需要一个副词来修饰。 你讲这句话的语气。Same as next one. Same as question 5. We are talking about dishonesty. One way or another. One way or another. We are talking about dishonesty. Number 6. There's no way this is a new story. There's no way this is a new story. Next， 好，接下来是刚刚我们看那些片语的意思，它的意思。One way or another, one way or another， 我不喜欢。Positive， one way or another。way to 是一个副词，程度副词，对不对？程度副词相当于 very。No possibility, no way. Completely, all the way. Benefit from something. Benefit from something. Benefit from two completely opposite things. Okay, to have it both ways, or to have it both ways. You look at something from one perspective. When you look at something from one perspective, then you say, in a way, So if you are done on page 97, then we go to next page, page 98. When you are ready. So now we're going to listen to a conversation between Luke and Lee. Between Luke and Lee. After that, we complete 4 and 6. 4 and 6. Using the expressions. You hear that? See? There are 6 expressions here. Normal business or something on earth. At least, in any case, don't bother. Yeah, so you will use the 6 expressions in part 4. Okay. So you fill in the gaps with the underlined expressions in the conversation.
Unit 10, page 98. Developing thinking. Exercises 1 and 2.
Hi, Luke. You're late. What have you?
It's none of your business, Dee.
Wow. You're in a bad mood. Did you get some bad news or something?
No, not bad news. But you're right. I'm not in a good mood. I'm embarrassed and angry at myself. You'll never guess what happened to me. I got stopped in the street, and that local TV news station was there with a camera crew and an interviewer. She said, "So, what do you think about the plans for the new shopping center?" And all I could say was, "What new shopping center?" Everyone laughed. It was so embarrassing. My big chance to be on TV, and I blew it.
That's so funny. What new shopping center? Hilarious. Oh, come on, Luke. You have to try to see the funny side of it.
I guess, but it's not easy when you've made a fool of yourself.
Oh, don't worry. No one knows about it. follow the news?
I do. Well, I look at things on Twitter sometimes at least. But I've been so busy lately, what with exams and everything. In any case, why haven't we been discussing it at school? There's a current affairs lesson every week, isn't there?
Those lessons aren't about local stuff. You know that. We talk about climate change and world politics, not new shopping centers. But I can tell you all about it if you like.
Don't bother. It's too late now. I mean, they're not going to ask me again, are they?
No, but you might want to know what's going on in your own hometown.
How'd you get on? If you know too much of others' business, then you are nosy. Have you heard of that? Being nosy? Are you nosy? Are you nosy? It's not your business. Yeah. Wait here. Are you sometimes nosy? No, you're not. Okay. So when you say or something, that means you are not sure. Did you get some bad news or something? Yeah. When you are not so sure about that person has got bad news, then you say or something. If you're certain about something, you don't say or something. You say or something or that kind of, not that kind. It's like you don't say I think if you are pretty sure about something. How on earth, this is an expression. Usually it falls just after what or how. What on earth? How on earth? What on earth or how on earth? I'm sure you have no problems with the others. That's what we work on part 4 and 6. For 6, you will use the key language. Over here. For introducing news. Well, what does it mean by introducing news? When you are going to tell someone something, that is to introduce news. Do you know what I mean? Do you know that next week we're going to have a written examination? That is to introduce news. To tell someone about something. I think we can do early answers today. Can you get your mobile phone ready? 我们来做一个early riser 好不好？加那个集中考成绩，好吗？early riser。好，给名字就可以了。你要不然给我，等一下，你给我马上就关掉了，我马上把关掉。只要给名字就可以了。I will make sure you are in that hole. 我就确定你们都有上面的东西。 我收到的是思贤，思贤在哪？好，冠前、田伦、佩晨、玉成、秦宇、子晨、景松、盛文、关凯、伟伦、君玉、展宏、世全、清晨、泽宇、天心、安琪、文君、方瑜、方瑜有来吗？没有，为什么会没？方瑜在哪？方瑜。好，这边有填到，这边有填到。Number one, why on earth did you dye your hair green? Why on earth? So you can have what on earth, how on earth, why on earth. 然后后面加一个完整的 yes no 问句，这叫疑问词。疑问词。what on earth, why on earth， 就看你想要问原因、地方，还是方式，决定你的疑问词要用 why 还是 what 还是 how。Why on earth did you dye your hair green? 后面加一个 yes no 的问句。Number two, can you lend me $20 or why for a list? Number three, there's no Wi-Fi in the camp where we are learning, so don't bother writing any emails. Number four, I'm bored. Let's go swimming or something. Okay, we can go swimming or we'll do something else because I'm bored. I'm bored. It doesn't have to be swimming. It can be something else or something. Number five, I don't really want to go to the party, and in any case, I haven't been invited. Anyway, I have not been invited. Number 6, stop asking me questions. It's none of your business. It's none of your business. Okay, that's it. Next part 6. Number 1. Guess what? I got 90% on the test. Guess what? Did you know that Morris is moving to Australia? Morris is moving to Australia. Did you know that Mora is moving? Oh, we have done that part 3. You will never believe what happened to you yesterday. You will never believe what happened to you yesterday. Number 4. Have you heard about Mike? Heard about someone? Have you heard about someone? We don't have to do this part. Doesn't make any sense. We just go straight forward to page 100. Page 100. Page 100. No, we don't have to do that. We don't have to do page 100. Only page 101. Page 101. So you just drag the vocabulary into the gaps. And just drag them into the gaps. You study for a degree. You study for a degree like you are now. You are now studying a degree, an undergraduate degree, an undergraduate professional. Studying for a degree, an economics degree. Number 2, way too long, way too long. 一个副词强调后面的形容词，way too long. Number 3, you need a verb. You need a verb. Drop me a line. Drop somebody a line means to send somebody a message. To drop somebody a line. Number 4, Mrs. Davies' car is broken down, so she had to apologize to the class for something. Apologize for something, but apologize to someone. Yeah, you apologize to someone for something. Apologize to someone for something. Number 5, you regretted doing something. Regretted doing something. Number 6, you are a career advisor. You are a career advisor. Did a good job. Career advisor. My career advisor. Number 7, I don't know when we will be arriving, but I will let you know as soon as I can. I will let you know. I will let you know as soon as I can. Number 8, she admitted losing earrings I had lent her. She admitted losing the earrings. Admitted. 后面加上名词。原本中间是有 to 的，可是你可以省略掉这个 to。你可以省略掉这个 to。好，所以如果加 to 也是对的。You admitted something. Admitted to something. Admitted to something. 但是因为没有 to， 因为就是说 admit 它本来就有及物的性质，所以其实没有 to， 你也可以直接接一个名词。但是很久以前它是有 to 的，但是后来被省略掉了，它被省略掉了。但是有些人他还是会加这个 to 进来，还是会加这个 to 进来。那 to 的话，一般后面会加不定词，不定词是没有问题的尤其是后面是加形容词的时候如果是接形容词的时候，后面通常会接admitted to be difficult to enforce。所以是可以接名词，直接接名词，或者是接 to 再接名词，或者是 to 再加上一个不定词，这两个是对的。Number 9, this is an expression. Something doesn't live up to your expectations. 不符合期望。Something doesn't live up to your expectations. Did you get this one right? Something doesn't live up to your expectations. Number 10, it's such bad news, so I don't know how to break it to him. Break something to someone. Break it to someone. Break the news. Break the news. Especially to break bad news. Find the old word. Part 2. 假设语气。After saying, if only I hadn't eaten so much. 如果那时候我没吃这么多，我现在就不会生病了。If only I hadn't eaten so much. If only I hadn't eaten so much. Number 2, David said he had seen Haruki that day, the day before. The day before 就是指当天的昨天，对不对？他跟他说的时候是 yesterday， 但是今天我在转述这件事情的时候会变成 the day before。他那一天说怎样怎样，他那一天说他前一天怎样 ，the day before 就是昨天的意思，对不对？可是这是转述句，转述句的昨天就是 the day before。Number 3 would be asking ask Mike if he would be at a basketball game that afternoon. Number 4. I'm sure I will understand if only they didn't speak so fast. 所以这个事情现在事实相反，这件事情正在发生，所以这件事情并不是他想象中的那样子。事实上，老师讲得很快。I would understand if only the teacher didn't speak so fast. 所以正在发生，所以现在是相反，对不对 ？Number 5. My friend asked me why I was looking so down. Why I didn't look happy. Number 6. She phoned to say that unfortunately she wouldn't be able to attend the meeting. She wouldn't be able to attend the meeting. Yeah, that's it. Part 3. 生的人跟 rather 是一样的，生的跟 rather 后面都是接什么？原形动词。I would sooner, I would rather, I would sooner, I would rather. Number 2, I wish 后面加上假设语气，与过去式相反。I wish he hadn't given me so many presents. It was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. Number 3 and 4, correct. 好，我跟6也是假设语气。I would rather 好，为什么我刚刚说后面不是接原形动词吗？或是 sooner 跟 would rather 后面不是接原形动词吗 ？If your verb for directed after would sooner or rather, then of course you use the base form of the verb. But if you use a sentence, then it has got to be past simple. Do you get what I mean? 如果后面是接子句，就用过去式；如果是子句，就用过去式，因为这只是一个假设。Okay? You came over to my house. Accuse somebody of doing something. 这是一个片语，所以一定要这样用。Accuse somebody of doing something. You accuse somebody of doing something. You accuse somebody. You accuse somebody. Accuse somebody of doing something. Accuse somebody of doing something. 圣文、圣文、杰尼、杰尼、释权、恒熙、万贤、展宏、佑旭、秦宇、明如、新慧、于心、方瑜、子晨、知颖、林瑞、施贤、佩晨、知颖、吉修、新宇、景松、祥静、薛正、泽宇、方凯、文君、云奇、国成、田伦、清晨。
还有那个博神，
国成在哪？玉成、静明、俊明、何润、盛浩、宇轩、玉祥、伟伦、韦泽、李轩、徐宇轩、郝君玉、安琪、天心。Functional language. You will never believe what Harry said to me. Believe 是及物动词，后面接一个受格，所以这个受格必须变什么？宾词子句。You will never believe what Harry said to me. What? Did you ask somebody to join? You ask someone to do something. You ask someone to do something. To join. Ask someone to join. Respond. Number 2, I would rather you play the music more quietly. 与现在时相反，对不对 ？I would rather you do that. I would rather you did that. I would rather you did that. 因为后面是子句，所以不能过去式。然后这个也是一样，第三句也是一样，因为是子句，所以用过去式不等。就是它第二个、第三句的 A 句是一样的句型。你就是它 played, didn't。那第二题的 B， 为什么要多一个 it？ 如果是 if 的话，后面就要多一个 it。I would prefer it if you went to your own room. I would prefer it if you went to your own room. I would prefer it if you went to your own room. B. But I don't want to go out. I would prefer to sit. 好，后面也可以接不定词，对不对？如果是动词就接不定词，如果是子句就要接 it， 先接 it， 再接一个意思就是先接一个受格，再接一个子句。Yeah, do you see that? Okay. Number 4. Have you heard about Jack's accident? Have you heard about Jack's accident? Have you heard about Jack's accident? Heard about. But do you know what really happened? Do you know what really happened? Take a break.
Well, right now my address is Farmers Titanic. after that, I'm on God to healing.
How is it struggle?
I work my way from place to place, you know, trying to do business. But I won my ticket on Titanic here, lucky-handed poker. A very
All life is a game of nothing. Real man makes no
Listen. Chances are you live in a city. Chances are there's a lot more noise. Chances
可以哟。
前多1分钟，因为过3分。It appears now one of the modern is yes, monkey drawn into another model and the rest is that fair?
I think that is fair parallel, and largely because one of the main sources of overcast traffic is traffic is on that is. So there's very and it's always rapidly considered the environment
Researchers that do the numbers working out what it is.
life expectancy. They tend to put people I think it can be quite challenging to realise, because if we think of air pollution, like that's like chemicals that are inside the air, so we're breathing in that then damages our body. That's a conception that I really get to understand. The idea that a physical force, actually like the compression of air rhythmically to create a sound, that could cause that. That's a very different thing to wrap your head around, isn't it? Let's go to yeah,
one of those big. And there, public health officials actually studied or tried to study the impact of noise pollution and came up with numbers. They came up with what they said was clear impacts on health and longevity. Right?
yeah. So well, this they did that, but just for one source. So they were only looking at the traffic noise, and they came up with they thought that around 300 parts per year would be attributed to about 30 deaths. So yeah, there's noise from traffic in just one city. So we're just thinking of one source of noise pollution and one outcome of the cardiovascular system.
And it's that about cumulative amount of noise, or a certain amount of noise over a certain amount of time.
Yeah, absolutely. This isn't like a motorbike that goes past you, goes really loud, and then you drop dead. What's that? Exactly. It's not that. It's a more subtle those changes over time, and we're probably talking decades here, but people live in busy cities for decades. There are things that over that length of time stop that increase your risk of having things like cold cancers and strokes.
And truly hellish then you actually went to Barcelona and you met people there and you looked into their exposure to it. What's something like?
Well, I met a lovely woman called Coco who lives in a historic part of Boston where it's actually mostly pedestrian, so it's kind of traffic isn't a problem. Lovely sense for communities there. So I met Coco in her flat. And you could really immediately sense the community spirit that's living there, the draw of living there is huge. But for Coco, the noise, the massive compliment of living there is probably why she's going to leave and move out. So we went out to her balcony. I'm quite jealous because she opened her balcony and there, across the bottom of the skyline, you can see the sky from the gigantic Dutch cathedral. But immediately below, you have this kind of like massive courtyard, and in that courtyard there is a space for walking dogs. That courtyard there is also a public space, so that community spirit is all there. It's also shared when people have birthday parties, but it's also a place that people have concerts and where young people congregate to drink alcoholic beverage or instead, which young people never do anyway. And so all that is also not traffic, but kind of like the noise of human life and experience, and that is driving her. She has incredibly high stress. She goes to work and she never feels relaxed. She makes videos that she put on the phone. What it's like. One of them, people partying just outside in that communal area, in class, vibrating with the sound of it. And that is actually happening. So it was like twice generations.
Because there will be about everything. But it is a direct link between just things that take your hands and the noise that you
Practically possible when you take one individual person to make definitive statements like that. From Coco's perception, she would say 100% she feels physical change in her body where there is a loud sound and it's pathetic. She reacted to it in a passive physical way. She would say that is contributing to stress, discomfort. From a scientific point of view, you would say if we study tens of thousands of people, we could treat so many heart attacks and strokes or whatever to that noise, but it's very difficult to say in one individual that's what that's just.
Yeah, sure. So that's fascinating. That you also looked into Dhaka in Bangladesh. Why Dhaka?
Why Dhaka? That's one of the noisiest cities in the world. And it's changing rapidly because there's been massive population expansion in Dhaka. With people living there who used to live in a relatively quiet part of the city that has now exploded into incredibly noisy, there's huge traffic systems there that weren't there 15, 20 years ago. So environments and neighborhoods have changed incredibly quickly over time. Dhaka has kind of has a problem of knocking horns. It's like it has this cacophonous soundtrack to the city and has constantly explosions of traffic and people beeping their way from one point to another and chatting to more persons. I wasn't there, but some of the people who were in the report, and they were saying they can spend 3 hours in traffic and the whole time is the whole time.
And there again, did you find a heightened level of what you might identify as noise-related as a huge research on the situation in Dhaka? Or is just Dhaka an example, extraordinary example, of a place where there was huge amounts of noise?
We went to Dhaka because it is and when we were there, we met doctors who were seeing patients. They are saying that they are attributing noise as being part of the reason that their patients come in. real health. And we definitely had many of us who were frustrated by the noise and sound.
Okay, so we talked about the cities that you have looked at, Barcelona and Dallas, very, very different places, different stages of development. What is actually going on to our bodies as a result of
in an experiment. So we got people to record sounds from all over the world, so we did, and then the sound and the sound. So I had basically like a glorified watch, but it's able to detect my heart rate and how much my skin was firing, and I was measuring while the different sounds were being. We got the what was happening inside my body. Yeah, because I was normal James. That's okay. And then I was making lots of different sounds, and the one that really agitated me was the sound of Dakar and the honking of the traffic. And you could see that my body was responding physiologically to that sound.
So that the physiological reaction is a very good proxy for stress.
Yeah, so that's how it all arcs around. So you saw that my heart rate goes up when that sound is being played, and my cells started to perspire more. So I was more sweaty when we were playing those sounds. And that was in contrast to lots of other ones. So there was like one sound that we were playing at the bar, and so we were quite like singing. And my heart rate came down, and I was just like, give or take, fire up. Why don't you can tell by that other side? Just say sweating.
I was less sweaty when we were doing that.
And so the only thing that was changing in that experiment was the sound of playing and the right to experience it differently. And the explanation for that is that there is different parts of your brain that sound different. So your auditory cortex is the bit of your brain that is understanding what's going on in the world. Sounds like we're having a conversation, converting into language, into speech. There's another bit called the amygdala, which is responsible for the emotional response to sound. So there'll be sounds that you find nice or aesthetic or disturbing. And the amygdala has the ability then for your body to react negatively to sound. So it triggers a negative response in the body that releases stress hormones throughout the rest of the body, and that can do things like that. How you connect heart rate. So it's like this sign that you have the sound. If your emotional sensory brain doesn't like it, that triggers the stress response in the body.
By these sort of sounds identified in triggering this response. Why is that?
It's all part of the body's flight and fight response system is the idea. So if you imagine that you were having a nice picnic and then suddenly a giant predator comes leaping out of the bushes and the thing that you heard versus the sound of crashing fruit to come to you, your heart.
Maybe I'll give you time to discuss conspiracy stories, because on a unit time, we talk about fake news, and we talk about the spread of information. Yeah. So today I think I'll give you time to discuss. And before you discuss, I'll show you a video. I'll show you a video. So first of all, you will watch the video, and then you will have time to discuss why people believe and share conspiracy theories. Okay. Why do people believe and share conspiracy theories? Okay. And you will think one of conspiracies in Taiwan. Okay, one of the conspiracies.
Conspiracy. Many Americans still use
Do
that
you
word.
remember conspiracy? Last week we looked at Princess Diana. Do you remember that? Yeah. So today I'll give you time to discuss conspiracy. Okay, what do people believe and what do people share conspiracy theories?
Think about the assassination of President Kennedy 55 years ago.
You know, President Kennedy, he was killed, 50 or 60 years ago. He was assassinated. Do you remember that? Yeah, you studied that part of history in high school, didn't you?
This past Thursday. And while we're talking conspiracy, what about the moon? There are plenty who think not. So why, after all these years, do all these conspiracy theories persist? Our cover story is supported by Susan Smith.
Spy novelist Gail Lynn has made an entire career out of conspiracies. How many conspiracies do you think you've dreamed up in your lifetime? Oh, a couple hundred. Look at all the conspiracies. Yeah, that's right here. Her office at home near Portland, Maine, is a breeding ground for conspiracies. The CIA is overflowing shells filled to bursting with evil secrets and nefarious plots. Military technology, special ops, war tactics, strategy. Wow. Do you have any trouble coming up with these things? No. No. Actually, some people might say, what's wrong with you? Her espionage novels have sold millions of copies. And they all start with one unbreakable rule. The conspiracy has to be believable. That's not hard. In fact, there are and have been genuine conspiracies.
I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
There's Watergate, there's Iran-Contra. They're wonderful products. And read and talk about it. We look for conspiracies everywhere. According to a recent CBS News poll, more than half of Americans still believe there was an official cover-up connected to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Roughly 1 in 3 say the government is hiding the truth about 9/11, and 1 in 10 thinks the moon landings were faked.
So if you want to know how important conspiracy theories are to people, just bring up a few and say, you have actually generally family. They do it after a few bottles of wine. After the argument is over, you probably won't be invited back. 25% continue to think that 9/11 was a hoax.
Joseph Kuczynski is a professor of political science at the University of Miami.
Conspiracy theories are ultimately about power. There's never a conspiracy theory about, the homeless guy in the army of the land conspiring against us.
So how does a conspiracy theory start?
A lot of times what happens is people will just come up with some of these ideas on their own. For example, one of my favorites is that the CIA created lesbians.
Kuczynski gathered roughly 100,000 New York Times letters to the editor, 120 years worth, dealing with various conspiracy theories.
What we find is that police aren't really doing enough. But what we can say is that they're playing a much bigger role in our political discourse.
Sometimes with potentially tragic results. After he became the subject of conspiracy theories, billionaire George Soros was targeted by a pipe bomber. And critics of the president worry that his views often include the conspiratorial.
I would be surprised. I would be surprised. I don't know, but I would be surprised. A lot of people say yes.
What does your basic conspiracy theorist look like?
If I ask people to close their eyes and imagine who that person is, most of them are going to think of a white, male, middle-aged, a lot like me.
Simple enough.
Perhaps. Living in the mother's basement with a ham radio, but conspiracy thinking cuts across race, gender, political party.
This vast right-wing conspiracy that has been conspiring against my husband since the day he announced for president.
Almost everybody believes some kind of conspiracy theory at some point.
Psychologist Rob Brotherton says human beings are skeptical of coincidence and think in terms of cause and effect.
One of the main jobs that our brain has is to spot patterns in the world, to spot things where A seems to be connected to B.
And when Anytime something big happens, like a terrorist attack or a mass shooting, we assume there must be an equally big explanation for it.
Like the JFK assassination, gunman assassinating the president, changing the course of history. That's a very small explanation for such a big event.
We want a much more complicated explanation than there is.
Like the vast conspiracy involving hundreds or thousands of people ongoing throughout time.
We have suffered a lot.
Especially since some experts believe a JFK conspiracy is not out of the question.
There's kind of good reason to be suspicious of the Warren Commission report. It was kind of rushed. And it didn't cover everything. It did leave some things out.
More than half of all Americans think there was a cover-up of the Kennedy assassination.
I'm inclined to think that there might have been the mafia killed JFK. I'm not sure it was the mafia, maybe it was the Cubans, maybe it was the Soviet Union.
Such theories persist no matter how improbable. A lot of these depend on huge numbers of people keeping a secret.
So workplace romance falls apart fairly quickly, and that's two people who will stay. We're talking hundreds or even thousands of people with very high stakes information, and it's been decades and decades and decades, but no one's come forward to say, I was the other shooter.
And if you don't buy the JFK theories, what about this guy? Is he alive? And this one?
You see those little curly things, isn't it? Or a big curly thing.
Poor Paul McCartney has been rumored to be dead since people played Beatles records backwards in the late 60s. What's your all-time favorite conspiracy theory?
So the interdimensional lizards, I think that's a good one. Interdimensional lizards?
I'm not familiar with this one.
Yeah, so all the rich families, the monarchy, all the presidents are all related to these trans-dimensional shape-shifting lizards.
I'm looking at your eyes. You might be one of them. By now, you too may be looking nervously over your shoulder. So how's the average person supposed to distinguish it?
Well, the best thing to do is to listen to independent experts.
You know that's not gonna, nobody's gonna do that. You know, we can start some sort of rumor. Spy.
I was never a spy.
Well, we would say that.
Conspiracy thinking is the spectrum. Some of it is ludicrous, and some is quite reasonable. Governments do keep things from us.
And perhaps for that very reason, Professor Uzinski thinks a little dose of conspiracy thinking actually may be good for democracy.
Conspiracy theorists have for decades pushed for the release of more documents related to the JFK assassination. That's a good thing. Conspiracy theorists pushed for the 9/11 Commission. That was a good thing. A world without conspiracy theories might be a very dangerous one, because at that point, no one's able to question power structure.
Your question to discuss. You will do that in group of four. You find your team members yourself, okay? Which is based on unit 10. So what do the people believe and share conspiracy theories, like the assassination of the President Kennedy? Okay, but you don't have to talk about that because you already got ideas of assassination. But rather, I would like you to talk about the following 4 things. What do people say about moon landing? What do people say about global warming? What do people say about chemtrails? Chemical trails. What do people say about flat Earth? Okay, you will come up with the 4 explanations. Alternative explanations people believe about moon landing. Okay? So 4 people in the group. Go for the people in the group. When you are ready, just come up. So I'll give you 15 minutes to discuss. Okay? The 4 things. You just need to choose 2. You just choose 2 to talk about. 4 people in a group. 4 people in a group. And I want you to put down your names here. You put down your names. Just put your name. Just give me a few seconds. I'll give you the QR code so you can get access to the file. We have to get this done today. We have to get this done today. So that's the questions. So can you move around and then find your team members? Yeah, you can find your team members. 4 people in the group. And you just choose 2 topics. What do people say about moon landing? What are the crazy conspiracy theories? The alternative explanations people give to the following events or phenomena. 选2个就可以了。如果4个都来得及说，那就选4个哈。如果时间不够，就选2个。原本说今天要考试，对不对？好，因为今天我们有主导考卷，所以我们就做这个。为什么上次有跟你们说要今天要考试吗？然后我把你的组员的名字写上去哈，看你是第几个 group， 帮我写出来。You just need to say 1 person up here to talk about the conspiracy theories. But if you want to share between 2, that's fine. 如果你们2个都想上来讲，或是你们4个都很想讲，也可以。那原则上至少派1位上来，可以4 次可以挤上来，然后自动成长。
没有啊，他说那边
大概1-2分钟吧，一组大概1分钟、1-2分钟就可以了，不用讲太久，因为没有很多时间。好，要不点的人，现在有时间哦，谁要？
那个中午交3个就好了。
谁要来补点？几个人？不要补点。可以直接上来的哈。对，那45分就可以直接上来。就直接站在中间，直接讲就好了啊。 那个至于我等一下再帮你改名字哈，今天大家找不到我等一下就帮你弄过去。我先记得放，等下怕等下忘记过来。没有啊，你们早点说啊。It's all right. Just go ahead. So you're talking about 不要整篇念，因为整篇念你念完就下课了，所以只要几句用你自己的话把它表达出来就行了。OK， 用自己的话。Something understandable， 只要几个重点就可以了，2、3句。Have to be louder. I cannot hear you. Sorry? Kissing. No, you was not well. What about you speak on behalf of Mulan is playing, so nobody ever travel too much. That's our topic after the meeting examination. So do you believe the conspiracy theory? Yes. It's conspiracy. So nobody ever did that. You have never seen anyone. It's not the US and the astronauts to the Mars. Thank you very much. So what about yourself? You believe in global warming? It's always not true. It's just a cycle. You believe it's a cycle? It's not a cycle. It happens. By the way,我说下礼拜简报，你知道吗？因为下礼拜是期中考嘛，对，所以你如果让没有看的同学写东西，就会想说你是不是忘了？因为上礼拜有公告，我等一下可能晚一点再公告一次。我下礼拜有公告了，只有2个新同学填，可是我都没有看到你们有填东西。下礼拜跟下个礼拜就只有做简报了。Okay, next. So, 谢谢你们来组嘛，对不对？对不对？好。Group 2 is done. And then 外形 group 这是我们哦，规划，没错。就到下课有，等下下课马上赶去行政。
The people were the view that the moon landing was fake, claim that the American flag is illusory in the fiction, but there is no evidence, so the moon landing was fake. The earth is flat now. Some people say the horizon goes flat to the naked eye. So they think the earth is flat, and NASA are lying.
You done? If you haven't thought of a topic to maybe for your PowerPoint presentation, well, why don't you talk about the historic details if you really want to? 有很多主题可以找，而且还蛮有趣的哦。最近我还听说，那个 COVID-19 是一些政府他们就是说好要把这个病毒弄出来的，你有听过吗？听过这个 conspiracy？ 这个里面也可以说，你也可以说，在台湾可以说的。是自由民主的国家，所以不要听说的都。
The stuff is circling above black drum massive to cover up by Copernicus to hide the true cosmology, sometimes hide religious texts.
Okay, yeah, that's what I agree with you.
Energy is a force. The use of war is fabricated like pushed by government or the UN to control population. Resistance of land key control against
官方请说有没有同学你没有做？有没有同学没有做？你没有写你的？因为说我发现同学有来，可是他没有做。没有看你们有没有人没有写你的上来？没有写你的哈，你也没有找到答案。好，没关系。你们都讨论好，都看得好，没关系。那看你要不要自己做也可以，好不好？
We're just talking about the role and so people believe government countries are really how they are more simple, much less resources, they feel very fast, very independent, and information where they what true what global warming and how uncomfortable their lifestyle Some believe that global warming is a conspiracy used to cause population and disease or redistribution. Someone said the control of the start is big from NASA. Because NASA has never become a beautiful goal. And someone said that gravity does not exist. And that is to say the Earth is flat as a sphere and it is keep accelerating from direction down to up. And someone said the horizon is always flat when moving in from the coastline.
Next.
Information that supports their preexisting beliefs and ignore or dismiss contrary evidence.
Because the government believes that when they see their online is the truth and the horizon looks blank when the metal down. And if the earth is not like one dome, airplanes fly then go.
Why do people believe in shared heresy theory about global warming? Some believe that global warming is centered in political, financial things such as controlling industries and justifying taxes for promoting renewable energy sector, and the sea as a technique used by governments or some environmental groups.
Another reason is distrust. These individuals often don't trust the government, media, or scientists. They believe the data might be manipulated or biased. Basically, social media plays a big role. Online platforms spread misinformation quickly and create echo chambers, making it harder for people to see accurate information. In short, global warming isn't just about science, it's also about politics, trust, and how people get their information.
Various groups and individuals have made claims regularly that the 1970s that personally misleading the public into believing the endings and manufacturing and learning or destroying evidence, including photos, telemetry tests, radioactivity transmissions, and rock samples. The flat earth theory shows that the earth is not square but a flat disc, and that government and space agencies are involved in the massive cover-up. Supporters often cite the appearance of the gas horizon and describe the photographic and global warming denial suggests that climate change either is accelerated or is only fabricated for political or financial purpose. Believers often argue that climate change has always happened naturally and that scientists are manipulating data.
Thank you very much. Okay, what about you would like to come up? 还有同学还没说，你要不要上来一下？对自己也可以做啊。你刚刚有做了吗？几乎没有做。几乎没有做。还有一点时间。So next week, if you want to elaborate on conspiracy theories, because you have found some more evidence to support your conspiracy theories, you are more than welcome to create a topic on the conspiracy theories, if you want to. Okay, it's a good topic for making a PowerPoint presentation. So next week, anyone else want to make change? Anyone else want to make change? Can you tell me now? Because I have to rush to another building by 10 o'clock. So if you have something, if there's something you want to talk to me, you have to talk to me now. Anything else you want to ask? Any questions you want to ask now? No? Sure. So make sure you put on your topic by the weekend. Otherwise, I will get rid of the link. Yeah, so you won't be able to access the file next Monday morning. because I have to create an evaluation sheet using your names. So if your topic and your links are not on the worksheet, then I would suppose you are not making a presentation. Do you know what I mean? If I don't see your topic links, then I will just not put your name on my evaluation list. Anyway, so I'll see you next week. See you next week.